Hi, I'm Paige Guikema, and I am the oldest of the Guikema grandkids. We just wanted to put together a video talking about some of our favorite memories that we have with Grandpa and the person that he was to us. He was such a light and such a fun grandpa to all of us, and he will be really missed. He was the kind of guy that never took things too seriously. He was so much fun and, let us get away with all kinds of funny things as a grandpa would. He'd let us sit on his lap when he would drive around the neighborhood to the pool. He'd let us put our hands on the steering wheel and drive. And he taught me my deep and meaningful love of chocolate peanut butter cup flurries. And that dessert was never too much. It just filled in the cracks. And he was the type of person that, you could always know that he will always be in the stands at any function or in the crowd at any theater performance. He always showed up, and that's who he was. He is so loved, and he'll be a missed part of our family, but we know that he's healed and whole in heaven. We love you, Grandpa.
When I think about Grandpa, I think of just his joy that he brought so much life into any room that he came into. Just like life of the party, jokester, made everybody always feel like loved and included and wanted, and was just so eager to get to know anybody I brought around, to know what's going on in my life and every other grandkids' life, kids' life. Just so full of intentionality and just an amazing, probably the best grandpa really anybody could ever want. So I'm just so thankful for the life that he lived and what he meant to me, and I know all my siblings and all my cousins. And so I love you, Grandpa.
My favorite part about Grandpa was just how supportive and uplifting he always was. He was always so full of love and joy all the time. A specific memory of him showing that is how he would always come to my sporting events like soccer and basketball, and after the games he would tell me I did a great job even when I didn't think so. A few years ago, I started getting into golf, and I was talking to Grandpa about it, and he wanted to give me his set of golf clubs, which I still use today, and they mean a lot to me. Grandpa had a very generous heart, and I know he impacted lots of people's lives like he impacted mine. I love you, and I'm going to miss you, Grandpa.
Grandpa was such an amazing man who really led by example in every way. He worked really, really hard for his family, but at the same time was just so loving and was so much fun, and he was really the life of the party. He brought joy to any situation he was in, especially whenever groups would get together at his house or elsewhere. He was the one making everyone laugh and smile, and he's the quickest to tell a joke or to poke fun or play a game or just had a great time with people and made them feel so much or so loved. And yeah, I just remember our most consistent, we would always go to Panera Bread and get the baker's dozen with everyone, and I just remember him just being such a joy and such a life. And yeah, I love you and miss you a ton.
Grandpa is incredible. He always would used to put us to bed when we were little, and every time he would sing this song called the We Three Kings song, but it was a remix that was super, super funny, and something about explosions and tar, and it was just incredible. He's so funny and was the life of the party in every situation, in every room that he was in. And he loved his grandkids so well, and yeah, he was just an incredible man. He would always read these devotionals before dinner whenever we were at their house, and would just point us towards the Lord and pray with us, and yeah, just did so much for us. He taught us how to play different games and would set up competitions, and yeah, was the best grandpa. We love you, and I'll miss you so much, Grandpa.
One of my favorite memories with Grandpa, just remember being little, Grandpa and Grandma would bring us to the pool in their neighborhood, and there was one time in particular that I remember because every time was really fun, but one time on the way back home, just driving through the neighborhood, he sat me on his lap and he let me kind of take the steering wheel and sort of drive us back. He did most of the work, obviously, but I just remember that being a really special time with Grandpa. Love you so much, Grandpa.
One thing that always struck me about Grandpa was just how patient he was. You know, having the 4 Moorhead boys running around your house when we were younger couldn't have been easy. But he handled it with such grace and joy and love. And somehow was always able to even match our energy, you know, even as crazy as we were being. Yeah, he was always just someone who's deeply kind and loving and caring towards not only his family and his grandkids and his wife and everybody, but I've just seen him like countless examples even of strangers and people who were influenced and affected by his joy and kindness and love towards them. So yeah, I love you, Grandpa.
Hi, I'm Zach, and one of my favorite things about Grandpa, or Gramps as us grandkids call him, was his kindness and his ability to love all the people around him, family, friends, neighbors. And just one story I have from that was we had just slept over at Grandma and Grandpa's, and there was a large snowstorm that had rolled through the night before, and I remember Grandpa was recruiting us grandkids to help clear off the driveway, and he was snow blowing and we were shoveling, and he was probably doing a lot more work than we were doing, but we were having fun. And I remember Gramps was shooting the snow at us as we were playing on the snowbanks, and just his playful and fun-loving attitude, I'll never forget. We'll miss you a lot.
We love you, Gramps.
Love you, Gramps.
Miss you so much. It's Jack and Aiden here. Over this past couple of weeks, we've really been reflecting and looking back on some of the good memories we've had with you. One that I've really remembered and was at the front of my mind was playing at the pool with you when we were younger. I remember you were always in the water with us having fun, and those memories really stick out.
Mm-hmm. I guess one that kind of stands out for me is when we'd do movie nights with the family, and we'd bring the popcorn down in those the green and yellow bowls. And always just knowing that when we were going over, it'd be a fun time. And you know, after the movies, we'd have that ice cream with the brownies and the hot fudge. You know, it was always just amazing memories.
Yeah, and going to the Red Box with you and Grandma, and I remember it always being such a fun time getting to go over and hang out. I guess also a funny memory that whenever I think of you, Gramps, I always think of this is when we were in Chicago as a family, all of us, and you had just gotten coffee and you went to go hold the elevator open, and the elevator door didn't open and it just came closing shut on your coffee, and I remember it exploded all over. I still think about that.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious.
Super funny.
Yeah, well, we miss you so much, Gramps. We love you.
Miss you
We're thinking
tons.
about you, praying about you, and we know you're up there looking over us.
And you'll always be with us. Love you.
Grandpa was an all-around amazing man. He was a man who loved his wife so much, his kids so much, and his grandkids so much. I remember his quirky jokes. I remember playing baseball in the front yard with him as a kid, and I remember his very loud whistle that meant it was time for dinner. He had so much joy in life, and I'm at peace knowing that he knew Jesus and he is with him now. We love you, Grandpa.
One of my favorite memories I have with Grandpa was when I was younger. Whenever I was sick, my parents would drop me off at their house to watch me, and they would always take me on their errands. And Grandpa would always sneak me into the back seat, like the purple Lifesaver hard candies. That was really good. I love him.
I'm Zoe. I'm grandkid number 3, and there are so many memories about Grandpa that I will truly hold dear to my heart. However, there are a lot of qualities about Grandpa that I think I myself inherited from him and that many of us grandkids did. I think those include his love for camping, especially at Pentwater, his ability to find a cheap or do-it-yourself alternative to problems that he faced in the home or on his cars, his love for Michigan football, go Blue, and also just his love for his family, and then also his love for a sweet treat after a meal. All of these things are things that I think really remind me of Grandpa and that I love about myself and I loved about him, and things I want to continue to do in my life, and continue to honor him through. Yeah, we just miss him so much already. He was truly so wonderful and so silly, and we love him the most.